This is a test. This is only a test. I say that, and then I'll still post it online. I do have a format. Let's try to stick to it. Good morning, Pete. The alliance is strong. Crumb alliance? No, forget that. Nah, that's dumb. Although I do have to say that I'm probably gonna, I need to use Twitter if for no other reason than to follow you, to see what you're up to, because every now and then I pop into Twitter because of all the auto posts. I get some notifications that someone shared something or liked something or whatever. And I see that you're posting stuff there, and I think that's phenomenal, that's fantastic, and then I don't pay any attention to it. So I need to, goals, basically, essentially, is what that boils down. Goal. If there's one thing I want you to know this week, is that you really should not be waiting for someone to come along and pay you to pursue your passion, especially if you're an artist, if you're creative. Can people be passionate about something that's not creative, that doesn't fulfill some sort of creative need? Like, people could get passionate about TV shows. TV shows is fulfilling a creative outlet, or a movie, right? People could get passionate about video games, but again, that ultimately is something creative. Can you be passionate? Is passion intertwined with creativity? I'm gonna noodle on that. Anyway, you shouldn't wait for someone to pay you to be creative, to pay you to pursue your passion. If you're, for some reason you're waiting on that, you're never going to get anything done. You're never going to move forward. You're never going to pursue that passion. So just stop waiting. And spoiler alert, sometimes when you get paid for it, it ruins it. It ruins it. I've spent the past 4 years, almost 5 years, getting paid for it. And there have been times, that, like currently, right now, in terms of video, if I never do video again, I'm happy. Maybe never again, but like, I could just stop doing all video work and I'd be happy. Don't wait. You should never wait for someone to pay you to be creative. There's no opportunity coming down the line. It's gonna ruin it in the long run, probably. Just find your passion and find a way to pursue it for yourself. That's the only way to stay pure about it. Anyway, moving on. Here's what I'm working on this week. You might have missed it, but I completely redid my book. New title, new cover. I'm on the cover. Don't Call Me Zombie. It's got a fresh edit, cleaned up a lot of typos, made a lot of sections a lot easier to read, a lot clearer to read. And of course, new title, new cover. New cover process was wonderful. It was, did a photo shoot of myself, a massive selfie shoot, and then just photoshopped the hell out of it to turn myself into Zaphod Zombie, which, if you've been following me for a really long time, and I understand that probably no one here is watching that, no one here is of that caliber who's been here for that long, or maybe that's the only people watching it, I don't know, tell me, let me know. Zaphod Zombie started out as a vlog way back in the day, where I had the makeup, the white and black makeup on, and doing the voice, and so it was a really cool throwback to that, to the very beginning origins of Zaphod Zombie, and minus all the makeup effects, because I could just do all of that in Photoshop. How the times have changed. It's phenomenal, and how my skill set has evolved. It's phenomenal. It's great. It's great to be living right now, to be able to do this kind of stuff. So Zaphod Zombie is now Don't Call Me Zombie, which was the actual original title of the book way back in the day. Because his last name is Zombie, but zombie, the term for the undead, is very derogatory and offensive. So there's a weird, ironic sort of twist there. It's up, it's done. There are people reading it editorially. I don't expect any major changes, but if there are, I can easily roll them out. So check me out on Amazon. Just search for Jordan Grumman. Go to the website, chromco.com. You can get the links there. It's available. It's up. Share it. Read it. If you haven't read it before, check it out. It's a really, really, going back to do my copy edit. Again, I originally wrote it back in 2009, so it's been edited a couple of times since, but then to read it fresh again today, to do my edit, it was like, wow, I wrote that. That's really good work. That's that bit there. That's really good. I impressed myself. So, you know, there's another passion goal. Impress yourself. You should be. So speaking of impressing yourself, the other thing I've been working on that you probably have seen are my Lego time lapses. Enunciation. My Lego time lapses, spoiler alert, are done in reverse. That's why they look so smooth. And that's why they're so easy to do. It's been a weird journey, and this last one that I did was the Avengers Tower, which was actually the first Lego set that I bought in this exciting Lego phase. It was the biggest set I did. It was the most complicated because I did this animation, and I did this animation of the characters where they're flying in and out. So there were 600 photos, and every single photo in that time lapse had to be edited. And if you watch the behind the scenes time lapse, you'll see why, because my hands are in the shot and the background isn't perfect. So every single shot, every single photo of the 600 photos had to be touched and edited. And the actual time lapse was shot across 2 days, and then it took well over a week of working on it here and there to get the whole ball of wax done. And then the actual edit was like an hour, and it was done. And by the time I was done with, like, this was the process prior. The process before was that I would get to the end of the time. I would do these things really quickly, and by the time I get to the end of it, I'm like, ooh, look at this. When I get to the very quick end of it, it's like, here's this little charming little nugget of creativity that I spent, you know, 2, 3 or 4 hours working on, and boom, it's perfect. It's ready to go online, instant gratification. I mean, it was just delightful. The process was delightful. And then with this one, because it took so freaking long, by the time I got to the final edit, I'm like, I literally, meh. It was a weird. I mean, everything was perfect about this video. Like, technically and creatively, I did everything that I wanted to do. It was executed exactly the way I wanted it executed, but for some reason it was this weird sort of letdown, and I'm not sure what that was about or why. But there you go. I think part of it is that this is also the first time that the 15-second format does not do the video justice. So if that's the only version you've seen, you probably... never mind. If the 15-second version is the only version you've seen, go to my website and watch the 30-second version, because that's the one that does it justice. What's next? What else am I working? I'm working on these comic strips. SeminoleComic.com. If you haven't... It's on Tapastic. It's a great platform for webcomics and getting these things out there. You can subscribe over there, you can like, you can share, you can do all those things. It's a good little network for comic creators and readers. And what I've been doing with my comic is I've been shooting. What I've been doing with my comic is I've been breaking off and doing these sub-storylines, these independent shows. So first it was Existentialism and Donuts, Crumbine's Brain, Harvey Soros Rex, and coming up now is Monsters in America. And these all are like shows within the show of seminal works, Jordan Crumbine's seminal works. Like in between the major shows, so in between Harvey Soros Rex and Monsters in America, there's the traditional seminal works kind of strips, which is just me and Sam and the funny stuff that I write. Right now there's going to be a host of buffer comics, and I'm working on building that out, of just me comics, because Monsters in America, I've got the first strip done on Monsters in America, but it is very complicated and very complex, and the thing that I've been working on has been a single background for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. You can go on my Instagram, you can see like a couple of work in progress pictures, but I've been working on this very dense background, this set piece, which is very important. I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of it. It's just, you know, it takes so much time just to do a single set that I've got to do probably 3 or 4 more of them. So I'm trying to build up a little bit of a buffer on the comic strips before we actually get to the Monsters in America storyline, which, of course, stars Zaphod Zombie. He's got his, I'll give you a little bit of a teaser, he's got his own, we're moving the whole story, and you actually I already teased it in the comics. The Monsters in America storyline takes place at a place called the Mega Mall Flea Market, wherein Zaphod has opened his own little store called Kitty Cornucopia. And this is I've had this idea forever, and this is the first time this is the first time I get to use it in any sort of practical sense. It's a kitty trade-in program where you get a kitty, and then when the kitty gets too big, in like 6 months, you take it back and trade it in for a younger model. This way you always have a cute little kitty to play with. That's the concept. That's his store. Just don't ask what he does with the older cats. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He's a zombie. Zaphod Zombie, Vidara Vampire, and my personal favorite, who was featured prominently in episode 100, Lincoln Squatch. He's my Hulk character, and I'm excited to be developing more content for him. So that's what I'm working on now. I have an interesting day today. I'm wearing my dinosaur socks for good luck. So, there you go. Until next time, I'm Crumbine. Stay creative.